Good morning. How are you? My name is Fredrika Orange, and I'll be going over a couple terms today. If you would like to engage, ask any questions, just raise your hand and I'll answer your question. The first term is oppression. Oppression is basically when others try to hold down an entire race of something like inequality and just taking a disadvantage because they have the upper hand on you. So, example about oppression would be how everyone is going to vote. They have the early voting and the voting date for a new president. Everything is November 3rd. Some people they're telling some people that they can't vote. Like they told me, I wasn't registered to vote, but I just voted last month or September. And all of a sudden, for the president election, I'm not registered to vote. That's oppression. The next word is power and privilege. When you think about power and privilege, the first thing that comes to your head is like someone that has more power than you, someone that's privileged, that has the ability to stand over you and the upper hand on you, or have the ability to, look down on you because, not simply because of another race, of many different things, because they're the police, because he's a doctor, just power and privilege. That's what I think about. Power and privilege is basically people that are put in a position and placed differently, and just have they have a role that they play, and that they connected to their identity and make them so powerful, make them so privileged. The next word is intersectionality. Intersectionality is when they try to examine a relationship and cross section various types of oppression, ageism, racism, sexism, classism. They just try to cross it and try to put it into their own words and, you know, view you how they want to view you. Intersectionality. The next word is racism and sexism. Racism is very big right now. We're not supposed to be in racism anymore, but we're still dealing with racism every day. The George Floyd situation, the Breonna Taylor situation, the what's the guy name that got killed down here in Baton Rouge? Alton Sterling, and police brutality. It's just been going on for so long. It doesn't stop. The situation with Alton Sterling, the police got off. The situation with Breonna Taylor, only one of them got in trouble. Police brutality is just on a rise. And after the George Floyd situation, we had riots all across the country because everyone had began to see it. Social justice is, with the election going on right now, the election plays a big part in the social justice because they're not letting everyone, exercise their rights to vote. That's human rights. Like, how you going to tell someone that they're not registered to vote when they just voted? Now we at the president election, they can't vote. That's human rights. The next word is resiliency. When I think about resiliency, it's basically mellow, calm, cool, can deal with anything come your way. And that's basically what it is. A person that can deal with challenges, demands, pressure, and it doesn't bother them at all. The next word is diversity. Diversity is basically being able to deal with different people, or go out and deal with, just change. Diversity. I can work with this group of people, I can work with that group of people. The next word is economic justice. Economic justice. Economic justice is basically the money that's, in the justice system, the money that goes in and out the justice system. When I think about economic justice, I think about taxes being paid, um, the stuff we pay taxes for, like building new roads. That's economic justice. Empowerment. That's the next word. When I think about empowerment, I think about advancing, moving forward. You know, just winning. And black women on have a huge empowerment as of now, because way back in the day they didn't. Black women could only stay at home, be mothers or housewives. The next word is culture concepting. Concepting. I'm sorry, I had to redo my video. Culture concepting. It's basically means you recognize a real culture, avoid social economic complexes. You just recognize that and you can describe it by the culture experience, the family, the basically the history of that family. You can describe it. The next word is community development. When I think about community development, I think about just being able to develop your community and upbring your community where you come from. Focus on your community, working with residents, trying to make their life a nice quality life. People that deal with social workers deal with that community. People will deal with all kind of problems, family history, anything. Social workers deal with that. Poverty and inequality. When I think about poverty and inequality, I think about blacks, us, because we deal with a lot of that today, because they want to really just keep us down. Oppression. When they say inequality, we're not equal. Discrimination. When I think about discrimination, I think about being on a job. And when I think about discrimination, I think about when I was working at Albertsons, they had a gay man there, and they discriminated against him so much. So when I think about discrimination, that's what I think about. Not, individual groups, communities, race, just characterize whatever gays, you just characterized by your behavior. When I think about social gender, I think about the beliefs and behaviors as example. Like, I'm a girl, I'm supposed to act this way. Or he's a boy, he's supposed to act that way. Globalization is similar to the economy, social, cultural. So it's just similar. It all tie in together. Globalization is just like the economy. That's what I think about when I think about globalization. The next word is micro practice of social work. Micro practice of social work is basically a practice of social work. Micro social work do not usually provide customers with counseling. Micro social work is basically works indirectly in a greater extent to support vulnerable populations. So they work indirect to help the population that's in need. Okay, so the next word is environmental justice. Environmental justice is, I would say, when I think about that, it's just like saving your community. That's what environmental justice means to me. The last word is sustainable. Sustainable is like growth, staying within your area, trying to uh, develop and just aiming to do better, developing your, keeping everything intact for your community or whatever who you're helping with. Aiming to better their future generations overall. Thank you.